Hi everyone, this is Janet Minosky-Smith, Reading and Dyslexia Tutor, and today I just want to share with you a tip that I've discovered that has really helped me when I'm working with students who are doing foundations in sounds or level 1 in Barton, where they're doing a lot of sound sequencing and sound substitution practice. I've seen a lot of questions on tutoring support groups lately where people are looking for tips. How can I help my student do this sound sequencing practice? They're having trouble focusing, or they can't seem to hold all three sounds long enough to do the procedure, or they get it's very tedious for them to do all this necessary practice, and they lose focus. So I have definitely experienced those types of things with students as well. And the thing I started doing recently that has totally, I almost want to say, revolutionized my teaching in these is incorporating a generic game, but in a way that you easily do it, sprinkle it in that practice time, to make this practice a lot less tedious and give them a lot more motivation and focus. So let me just show you what I mean. Okay, you are looking at the Foundation in Sounds virtual platform. I have a few students right now who I'm working with who are in that. And so let's say I've come to the point in the lesson where the students have to do the sound sequencing practice. So typically you would do 6 or more practices using the sound cards, and then 6 or more practices using the tiles, and that can really be a lot to do at one time. And after a little bit, I would have students that might have trouble continuing to focus, or it just can be tedious for them, since it's very similar doing it over and over again, and yet it's very important. So what I do is, when it's time to do that practice, I will give the student their first set of sounds to sequence. So I might say, k, s, and my student would repeat those, and then they would bring down the correct sound cards and tap and say the 3 sounds. And then as soon as they're done, they've successfully completed one sequence. So we pop right up to the browser tabs, and I click on my open game. And I've just made some games in Google Slides, which are all generic. None of them already have anything on them. So we're really just doing this to take a turn in a game, without worrying about having it set up specifically to cover the material. It's really, okay, we take a quick turn and then we get back. So now we have our game, and this is a 1-card bingo. And I have a dice roller app on my phone, and I can also just open another tab, but let me roll this so you can hear it.
3.
So the student hears the die roll and they hear the numbers, so they can then take a turn and place their bingo chip anywhere in column 3. And the green space is a free space for both of us.
6.
Okay, I take a quick turn, and since I got a 6, that is a free wild card, so to speak. I can put my chip anywhere. So maybe I'll put it up here. And then we pop right back to our lesson, and we do the next sequencing activity really quickly, and we pop back to our game and take one more turn each, and then pop back to the activity, and we just go back and forth like that. And we're playing that game, and I found that my students, when we do this, are so much more focused. They're enjoying the sequencing time. It helps them to remember the sounds. They're motivated because they want to take their turn. And it even gives them a little brain break in between each sequence, which is very helpful. So this tip, more than anything, has really helped me in doing some teaching activities that otherwise might be a little challenging for students, to stay focused and to hang in there to do all the important and needed practice. Sometimes when we get to a harder sequence, like there's 3 sounds to do instead of 2, I might say, oh, if you get this on the first try, you can even have an extra roll or an extra turn. So you can add some elements like that. So it's a great tip for these programs such as Foundations, but any teaching program you have that you can see where you can incorporate something like this. And if you're in person, you can use any game that you have where you could each take a quick turn. It would work exactly the same way. All right, I hope that this is helpful and a great addition to your teaching toolkit.